Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back. Like and subscribe. We're doing a follow-up video about this Hassan shock collar thing. I've been seeing some people trying to do some misconception type thing or some deflection, whatever you want to call it, and calling it a vibrating collar. So I'm pulling up right now as we speak the collar in question, and then I'm going to show you what the actual collar is. This is the collar. This is the collar in question, and you can clearly see here it's about as flat as you can get. There's not really like a level change and a little I don't know what the heck you call it. Not a bead, but like a little bump right here. Bump. That's what I was looking for. What he actually has is one of these. So one of these is same brand, but it's specifically for shock collars. It's a shock stimulus collar, right? Um, as a professional, these do get used from time to time, right? It's mainly for power breeds in bigger dogs, right? Dogs that you really have to get it in their head that there needs to be absolute obedience. They're very effective for that. Stubborn dogs, especially, like that extra stimulus is very nice. To get that like instant kind of gratification, right? Obviously, you still have to do, the proper like marking so that they come back to your voice and you don't have to have the collar on them 24/7, right? That's what you want to work towards. Like it's simply a tool to be used and then removed is essentially what that is, right? Um so yeah, it's simply to help you get to that end goal, right? But this is what it is. In his defense, what he said isn't wrong. They do have, so like even right here it says sends tapping, vibration, and tone stimulation, and features a nighttime tracking light and low visibility light or low light visibility. Um, so this is a thing. At the end of the day, it does what you think it does, right? Because if you go here, it says 100 training levels plus tone and vibration only modes. Now, that doesn't mean that Hassan didn't use it at that time to shock his dog and then take the prongs off and portray it off as a vibration collar. But unfortunately, if you rewind the video, because I double checked this just to make sure, as he pulls it off here, I'm gonna pause it and hold on. Let me move myself first so you guys can see it. We'll go back to where we were, top left, and then you guys will see. Hopefully, it'll come through well on the video. You guys will see the two holes of one where the prong goes, and then there's another hole just back behind it there. And I'll show you what holes those are.
This is the one that people are talking about.
So right here.
Oh,
Let me go back just a smidgy.
that people are talking about.
Right here are the two holes, Bing and Bing. Okay, these are your two holes, Bing Bing, and then you have your charging port a little bit further down, right? So then if we take that and we go back to this, as you can see, there is the prong and then the hole right behind it, and is just down from the nub and the freaking this far side of the light here that does not have the red. So as you can see, this is probably the collar that he has. It's some model of this because there are a couple different models of it, right? This is the $219 model. There's a $250 model that has, I'm assuming, more functionality and stuff like that. But they are all educator products, include Pav- Pavlovian tone and or vibration as alternative stimulation options. Alternative stimulation options is the very most important part of this, right? So it's a thing, right? It is a thing. It is a shock collar. No ifs, ands, buts. No schmoozing it away. Like, hey, you fucked up, lad. You used it as a shock collar live on stream, and then you tried to hide it, right? Now, in my original video, I did not make any absolute conclusions on anything. And I even pulled up an example on, let's see, well, I'll do it again. I even pulled up an example on Amazon here. Uh, we'll do vibration collar of simply just pulling up a vibration collars and just kind of showing people like what these no shock collars are, right? So, you know, that's a thing. And I think it was like one of these that I use as an example of like what it is. Like this is a no shock vibrating collar. Like all it does is vibrate. It gets your dog's attention, right? So, yeah, I don't tend to do this myself personally. So, to each their own, but you know, that's that's what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it is. But like I said, maybe he had the prongs on there, maybe he didn't. I will say that it's basically like a 99% chance he did it. He 100% did it, and now he's trying to run from it, and you can't because you can't undo history. So, um, yeah, it not a good day to be a Hassan fan. I'll tell you that much. Oof. Yeah, but they got all sorts of these things. If you guys are interested in getting a vibration collar, they have plenty of them on Amazon, and they're not bad. They're not bad. Uh, unless you're an Apple fan, don't do this Apple fucking AirTag bullshit. Okay, just don't. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. But yeah, other than that, I mean, there's nothing else. I mean, it's pretty much a de facto bang bang holes right there match up perfectly right below the nub, just like the model that we looked at. So yeah, it's unfortunate.
Wow. Okay, this is the one. This is the this
And I've seen a lot of, well, not a lot, but so I saw an Asmongold clip that they were saying when they adjusted the lighting setting that it was black taped.
is the one that they saw.
So my only critique on that would be if it was black taped, you wouldn't be able to see the prong holes in the beginning of this clip or this like video.
It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? And that's it. Are you happy?
Yeah. Yep, right here. Right there is your prong hole. Again, again, right above my mouse there is the hole. So that's your prong hole. That's where one of your prongs go, the other prong goes there. So like people are saying it's taped, but like if it was taped, then it would be taped all the way top to bottom, right? You would have gotten rid of the evidence of the prong hole there, right? Now, for argument's sake, now, not even for argument's sake, I mean, yeah, it's just cooked. It's cooked. I mean, unless he pops up with like a purchase history item that is exactly this with no shock functionality, he's cooked. But from what I find, there's nothing that tells me otherwise. So, like I said before, unfortunate day to be a Hassan fan, but I am inclined to say he is guilty in shocking his dog live on stream. That is the conclusion I came to. And I originally was just gonna let it go, just drop the first video on it, and just because it's an hour long fucking video of me. Now, one thing I will still say is that the dog does not associate symptoms of a dog under duress, or distress or abuse. It doesn't have reactivity. It doesn't have cuz like even with the amount of training that it has, if you abuse your dog, it is almost instantaneously going to be aware of your threat, both physically and logically. Dogs don't have the capacity for ideological thinking, right? Like they're very much rooted in logic, right? Which is why a routine is something that is so important, because like you screw with a dog's logic, and that's when it like really starts throwing them off, and you could lead to behavioral issues. So uh a lot of the stuff that Hassan said in that video, he was pretty much on the ball with. Do you agree with his methods? No, they're not great. He seems to be awfully strict, and in that moment, it's extra bad because he was very frustrated, and I think that's a bit too much personally. But it's to each their own. It's his house. It's his house. He can run it how he wants. Yada yada, or apartment or whatever the fuck he lives in. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's all I really got to say about it. Um, you know, yeah, these things happen. Unfortunately, dogs don't. Well, some dogs choose their owners, but for the most part, the owners choose the dog, and you just hope that they go to a good situation. But with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it's literally 1:30 in the morning. I spent like 2 hours like looking at different collars, finding any options, and then conferring with compatriots that are also within the same field. And yeah, we all kind of colluded and collabed to try to figure out if there's one that we're just overlooking, because this brand is popular enough. This brand, they have their own website. This brand is popular enough, and they have their own line that literally all look just like this one. So I think that was the part that actually took the longest. Was like trying to like figure out like which one exactly was it. But yeah, every clip that I've seen of this dog, it does not associate any sort of psychological behavior that is a dog that is being abused, right? Because the minute that Hassan raised his hand to the dog would have reacted 100%. If he was abusing this dog, it would have reacted. Because it would have been wary, right? Because if Hassan took his frustration out on the dog, imagine what he does off camera. So, yeah, that's why I'm more inclined to believe. I'm inclined to believe that the shock did happen and that the abuse is not happening, right? I do think he's probably pretty strict and controlling, right? I mean, that's a thing. Probably. But the likelihood of that, being abuse being the case is pretty slim right now, unless we get more information. But other than that, I don't know. I know I've said that like fucking four times. I'm done. I'm done. I'm going to bed. I'm fucking tired.